Welcome my fellow deck building recruits. Are you ready for a new deck?
Yes, Sergeant!
Are you ready for a budget deck that will be so stylish that Tom Ross' jacket will turn inside out when he sees it?
Yes, Sergeant!
Are you ready to stomp your opponent so hard that when Reed Duke sees this he will never play Junt again?
Yes, Sergeant!
Good! Then now let's get cracking with this soldier deck. So today we will be building a nice soldier deck, and I got my inspiration from a deck I saw on the internet a few years ago, played by Chantal Campbell in a legacy tournament. Now as always I put my casual budget sauce over it.
Where's the lamb sauce?
So we will have a deck that you can play for hours and hours without it getting boring, and I have a deck to put in my gauntlet as well. Now soldiers, before we jump into the deck, I do want to thank our partner Card Market. They are still the best place to get your cardboard for Magic the Gathering decks. Find out more about Card Market in the description below. And at the end of the video I will give away another voucher, and if you want to be eligible for a voucher, just leave a comment underneath the video so I get your name, and let me know in the comments which card from Strixhaven you would like to see me brew a deck around. Now if you hang around my channel long enough, you know that a sergeant can't go to the YouTube war without a good soldier next to him. Now my soldier looks a little bit more like a Disney princess than like a real recruit, but without her there wouldn't be any videos. So let's give it up for the master of memes. Let's give it up for the editor of casual MTG decks. Let's give it up for Nora.
Thank you, thank you.
Are you ready for some more soldier?
Sir, yes sir.
Then let's go.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
Now let's go to the barricade first and start with some lands. I played 23 of them.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
For the basic lands we only played plains, 10 of them. And the choice of the art, that was quite simple. This art from Jumpstart by Jet Chevere is without a doubt the best fit for my soldier deck. Now you will ask yourself maybe, Recruit, will this be a mono white deck? No, this will not be a mono white deck, as we will be splashing a bit of blue in the deck. So we need some dual lands to support this. I included 4 Tranquil Coves and 2 Temple of Enlightenments. And these dual lands are also plains, which will be important for another card in the deck. The following 2 lands we must include in this soldier deck. The Encampment Boost Soldiers and the Forbidding Watchtower can turn into a soldier for 2 mana. I also play 1 Rogue's Passage for the last point of damage. Now before we talk to the Drilled Sergeant, I want to include 2 Planeswalkers that are here to support our troops.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
Gideon is an indestructible soldier during your turn. It can also give a creature lifelink, indestructible or vigilance, and its -6 ability deals with all non-land threats. Next to Gideon there's also Bazri Cat. He's like a Gideon with better hair. And he also gives your soldiers indestructible. He can also create more soldiers with his -2 ability, and now his -6 ability is mostly game over for a control deck, as you will have a soldier every turn with extra counters on your creatures. Ah, very good soldier. Are you ready to meet your team?
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!
Soldier, keep on marching on.
Now we built this deck around 1 key card. Preeminent Captain is a 2/2 with first strike, and whenever the captain attacks you can put a soldier card from your hand into the battlefield tapped and attacking. So the best combo here is with the Captain of the Watch. This 6 mana 3/3 gives other soldiers +1/+1 and creates 3 soldier tokens when it enters the battlefield. So attacking with a Preeminent Captain into a Captain of the Watch on turn 4 is a very good play.
Hell of a good start.
Another card that's great here is Lavinia of the 10th. Especially versus red decks, she's very strong. And when she enters the battlefield, you detain each non-land permanent an opponent controls with the mana cost 4 or less. Now, this all happens before our opponent can block. So a really nice combo with the Preeminent Captain. And there are some more cards that combo well with this captain. Palace Jailer exiles a potential blocker and gets you drawing cards with the Monarch ability. And Spire Patrol is also a great tempo play and is one of the reasons I added blue. Kithian's Irregulars is also nice in this deck. If you can play it attacking on turn 4 with the captain with 4 mana open, chances are your opponent won't be able to block. Lu Shen, Scholar General, is also great, as it can't be blocked in most occasions and it draws you some cards. Something that white decks can't often do. We also play 2 Enlistment Officers. They also have first strike and they will also get you to draw a bunch of cards, as half of your deck consists of soldiers. So 2 copies of this card in our deck. Odric is also a nice soldier to have, as he gives abilities of the soldier to each one of them. And in this deck, this will be first strike, but also flying, lifelink, double strike, vigilance and indestructible. This war chief is better when you play it from your hand, as he boosts your team and makes soldiers cheaper.
Now you ladies carry on.
Then there is Talia, Heretic Cathar. 3 power for 3 mana with first strike is good, but it will also slow down your opponent significantly, which is even better. Taranika is also a great soldier in the deck. A 3/3 with vigilance that attacks is great, especially when it turns another creature into a 4/4 with indestructible. So I like to use my planeswalkers to give Taranika indestructible, so Taranika can make the Preeminent Captain indestructible, and if we have an Odric out, all creatures are indestructible. That's really
Amazeballs?
That's right. Mentor of the Meek is also a nice way to draw some extra cards, especially with the soldier tokens from Captain of the Watch. Siege Striker is our double striker in the deck. Great with Odric, or when you and your opponent both have a bunch of creatures and you're in a sort of Mexican standoff. I haven't been testing this deck out a lot, but I do want to try out this cat soldier. Brava likes defense, giving your tokens a whopping +1/+4, and it makes soldier tokens on his own as well. For 3 mana, this looks like a deal to me. And this Militia Bugler
He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
is also a small version of the Enlistment Officer. So let's also include 1 copy. More 3-drop soldiers?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, then what about Lava Brink Runner, which is also a fun one with the Preeminent Captain, as it makes combat rather difficult for your opponent. We are playing a soldier deck, so we needed to include 1 Field Marshal. The card is not very cheap, so only 1 copy of this Soldier Lord. Now, when I talked about Nora and when I asked her, what do you think about when I say soldiers? She told me, well, I think about Sparta and Rome.
This is Sparta!
So I think it's also a good thing to include this guy. Daxos of Meletis. He can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. And when it deals damage, you exile the top card of your opponent's library and you gain life equal to the card's mana cost. And you may cast that card and you may spend your mana if it was of any color to cast it.
flavor points for this one, Bram.
Thank you. Let's hope I also get some flavor points for this Ariel Responder, who is excellent with Odric. Together all your creatures gain flying, vigilance and lifelink. Now we do also have a few 2-drops for the early game. Sejiri Merfolk is a good value creature for 2 mana. A first striker with lifelink is solid, and therefore we included some extra planes. Another legendary soldier is Anafenza. This one has bolster, boosting all other soldiers that come into play, and something in the same line we find with this card, Talia's Lieutenant. And if you know we play more than 20 humans in this deck, you'll understand why this is also a good choice for our soldier deck. Preeminent Captain is also an aggressive captain. And when he deals damage, he creates some extra soldiers. So he definitely has his war face on.
Now let me see your war face! Ah!
That's not a war face. This is a war face.
Hey, let me see your real war face!
Loyal Cathar is a resilient creature. It's a 2/2 with vigilance, and when it dies, it comes back as a zombie soldier.
I like turtles.
So these were all the soldiers. I think we covered about all of them that are on this plains card, but we still have a little bit room for some other spells.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
Turn to Mist is a way to protect our soldiers from spot removal, and it also works well with the Preeminent Captain to save him for blockers. This is a mid-range deck, so including some flexible mass removal is always good. This time I went with one austere command. It's maybe a bit slow, but sometimes it just wins you the game, killing your opponent's monsters while keeping your soldiers intact. Now I also have my own little restricted list for my casual decks. Most of the cards on there are legendary, and that's because they are
legendary.
Exactly. Now there are some other cards that I put on this list, mainly some iconic cards that are really powerful, like Lightning Bolt, Swords to Plowshares, Counterspell, and also the following one.
Now, let's have some fun.
In this deck I included one copy of, wait for it,
Armageddon.
pay 4 mana, destroy all lands. This is especially good against control decks, and when you have a Preeminent Captain out there, you don't even need to spend mana for your soldiers anyway. So that's just a ridiculous combo that's even in the sideboard of the Soldier Stompy Legacy deck I talked about. I'm ending this deck with 2 artifacts.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
So here we keep it budget, here we keep it casual.
Bram, you just put an Armageddon in the deck.
Yeah, that's right, that's true. Then, well, if we don't have any lands, then maybe we'll also put a little bit of mana rocks in the deck. And then you can also put in your favorite meme. I'm talking about Marble and Sky Diamond.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
So we're almost done with the deck tech. If you like the deck so far, give the video a like. And before we head into our announcement of the card market voucher winner, let's look at some power rankings.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
This flavorful soldier deck is a good casual deck. And if you're not under immediate pressure, the Preeminent Captain together with your planeswalkers can put a lot of pressure on your opponent. You'll be playing aggressively with this deck, and for $40 US or 30 euros, I think it's a deck that belongs in every casual collection.
Soldier, keep on marching on.
As long as you can attack, this deck does quite well, and the first strike of your soldiers can make combat difficult for your opponent. The only thing is that we don't really like to play against a lot of board wipes, as we don't have a ton of ways to draw cards and come back from this blowout. But of course you can also play an Armageddon and start all over again. Now let's head into the card market winner of the week. Recruit, who won this week?
Congratulations, Sian Wolfensberger. Check out the description down below on how to claim your voucher.
So recruits, this was the deck. I hope you enjoyed the soldier training here at Casual MTG Decks. I hope I will see you next time. Keep it casual, and until next time.
Soldier, keep on marching on.